Hey guys, how you doing? It's Henry at Mowers and Blowers. I'm just sitting at home watching football. It's Sunday. And my neighbor, Andy the Brit's brother, lives around the area. He always gives me tips here and there when he's out and about. It's Sunday. Not many people are out. And he shows me a picture of this. So it appears to be an old-looking MTD one on the left. I'm sorry, the right, the red one. And another black thingamajig, maybe a Craftsman or something. Both push mowers, no back. But they both have the newer engine, Briggs & Stratton, with the black plastic carburetor. So they're not that old an engine, you know what I mean? And so it looks like I can pick it up and do something with the engines eventually. So it's really nearby. It's near the high school in my town, which is very close by, like 3-4 minutes. I'm at the light. I'll show you when I get to that street. There's the high school. It's coming up next road over. I hope it's still there, but you know, things could happen. It is fair game. It's a curb alert. It's on the curb. Haven't had too many curb alerts lately. It's been very, very slow this year. I think I've sold maybe 18, 20 mowers this year. Not a lot at all. Probably half of what I did last year. Dude, you gonna go or what? Jesus. Alright, I don't see anything. Of course, nobody can see anything with this sun blazing. Wait a minute, somebody's throwing out some stuff over here. Looks like a futon and stuff. That's not it. I didn't see nothing. No good. I don't see anything. Well, looks like it was probably here because this house is selling and they all have that crap out there and doesn't appear to be here anymore. Somebody got it. Too bad. I'm looking at the picture that he took of it and it's right here and there is no mowers here. So somebody got it before me. I don't always get what I want. What a freaking disaster. If you guys live in a state that doesn't have seasons, such as Los Angeles, California, or Florida, maybe even Texas, you have leaves that fall off your trees and you gotta pick this up every 3-4 days? Lucky me, I get to do this probably, given the amount of leaves still left on the trees, like 50 more times. Good morning. It's the next day. As you saw yesterday from when I was mowing my lawn with the 616Z turn from Toro, you saw that every time well, first the battery was dead, so I had to jump it. So I didn't want to shut off the engine, so I would have to start it again, you know. So I left the engine running. As it was running, you saw the engagement to the steering. When you stop it, the emergency brake didn't work, and it's off aligned, meaning that even if you just left it like that, it's putting pressure, something's putting pressure on the engagement switches that causes it to move backwards. And you try to balance the steering levers forward a little bit so that it's not really going forward and it's not really going backward. You have to kind of try to find the neutral area. Well, over the years, I've never adjusted that, and I think it's adjustable. So it drives me crazy because it's always moving, you know, creeping backwards as I'm trying to unload the leaves from the bag. So today I'm going to back that out. I charged the battery overnight, so the battery's full. I'm going to test and see why the battery dies, but you know, it is a 2-year-old battery from Everstart, you know, Walmart brand, so I'm not surprised that it doesn't keep its charge too well, but we'll test and see if it's charging the battery. So it stays put, and I have it right there. So it has to sit just like that. I'm going to test and see if the stator is charging. .98. Doesn't appear to be charging, and I don't know where I'm going to get a stator for that. So while studying how this works, the lever here moves these things on the bottom over there. Get you close up to how these things, the lever connects to these things over here that control the pumps. So I'm going to turn move the right one back. So this is supposed to make the rear right go backwards. And pushing it forwards goes like that. So when I put it to neutral, I feel like it pushes it and wants me to go backwards some more. See? Like that. Which causes it to go backwards a little. So do I loosen this bolt a little, like a quarter turn, or do I tighten it? Because either way, when I push it forward, it compresses. Push it backwards, it compresses the same exact way. So how does that work? Unless the adjustment should be here in one of those two things. Unless I can tighten this part here so that it goes down more. And I push this backwards, that pushes down. We don't want it to do that. We want it to be up a little. That's pushing it down. So I want to raise it up a little. I might have to take this pin out and try to rotate it a few turns. So I seem to have fixed the problem. I basically just removed this pin out, took that pin out, rotated this slingshot looking thing, right? Tightened it so that it pulls more upwards as if I'm going forward. I did that on both sides, probably 2 full turns on each. And now what happens is if you pull the parking brake, right? This is how it works. You pull the parking brake, and it puts that red arrow looking piece in between these two springs. See, it blocks these two from moving at all, and that's what controls it. But if your thing is out of whack, these things, that doesn't help. It still moves. So what I did was I just basically shortened this rod so that it acts like it's going forward more. I did that on 2 turns. On this thing, clockwise, turned it in, tightened that screw so that it makes this bar shorter, therefore mimicking that it has to go forward. And you know, if you rev it up really high, it does kind of creep forward just a bit, but if you put it on idle, it stops. So that's fine. Then I wanted to address the charging of the battery. So I was looking through the solenoid and everything, trying to trace the wires, and there's this this loose tab wire it was just hanging here. I didn't know where it went to. So I took a mirror. I don't even know where I put it now. Oh, no, I just ran over it. I had a mirror over here, and I put it underneath because I couldn't see what was connected onto the solenoid, you know what I mean? I know you know what I mean. Anyway, I don't know if you guys can tell, but bottom of the solenoid, there are no loose tabs that are open for this. So I really don't know what that's for. But starts, runs, and apparently it charges. So I'm just going to stick this back in here. I don't know what it's for or where it's from. I probably look through the schematics some of the time or something. But starts, runs, and I check on the bottom of this solenoid, there's 2 big lugs, right? One lug is attached to an internal wire that I assume goes to the voltage regulator on the other side. The other lug takes a wire in here and connects to the positive terminal of the battery. So when this solenoid is energized by this trigger wire over here, right, it moves the lug, makes contact between that lug internally and the lug over here, making a circuit so that the battery drives power to the starter and starts the thing. So I did a voltage test on all those lugs. It showed 13 point something, and I just tested the battery and it shows 13.18, so that's a fully charged battery. Yes, I just did charge it in the garage, but I was running it for about half an hour here and had practically no voltage drain. So apparently the stator is working by putting voltage through the internal lug, and then when this is engaged and running, it brings power back to the battery again. While it didn't really show it, you know, when I did it to super low throttle idle, it showed like 12.94, and when I put it up to the highest throttle, it still showed 12.94. But right now, you put the multimeter to the battery after running this thing for about 35 minutes, it does show a solid 13.2. That's more than enough juice to get an engine started. You only need 12.4 to start an engine. So running it for 35 minutes and it's still 13 something, I mean, means that it's getting its charge. So I'm going to show you what I've done so far. Yep, I put the pins back. Get my mirror out. So it's on parking brake right now. It's stopped. Before, as you saw, I was unloading the bagger and it was like moving fast. So this is fine. We'll call that fixed. Alright. This thing runs great. And I've never cleaned the carburetor on this. 4 years. I didn't even use it. You got to put batteries in it.
Okay, cool. Very cool.
Yeah, man. It is cool. A lot of people ask me for it, but you're the actual only guy that actually said, I'll come get it.
Yep, exactly. That's what it is.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Enjoy. Nice. See you more.
I'm going to try to put I'll show you. You want the box? I don't see the box.
Dude, I definitely don't want it. I mean, I just wish I had that kind of resources. All right, selling some stuff that I had laying around the garage, you know, just to clear it out, stuff that I haven't touched in 5 years. If you don't touch it for 5 years, get rid of it, you know what I mean? Put some coin in your pockets, you can use it to buy other stuff, you know? Today we tackled something that you don't really tackle very often, you know what I mean? I've never done that before, but there's always a first time for everything, right? Now I feel pretty good about the zero turn. It always drove me crazy that, you know, when I stopped with the engine on, it would just creep backwards. Drove me nuts. But I didn't know how to fix it because I was intimidated by the fact that I've never worked with those types of zero turn engagement levers for the hydro pumps before. And you just gotta study what moves what, the logic behind it, you know. Moving the lever this way, you're pulling a rod upwards so you can engage the spring on the bottom. Well, if it looks like you could correct the issue by pushing it forward a little bit, you shorten the rod that makes it go forward. So you do a couple of turns on that stuff, and it obviously fixed the problem for the most part. I could perfect it, but it's fine, you know what I mean? Just use the mow the lawn. The OCD in me wants to fix it completely so that it doesn't, but I'm afraid that if I touch it anymore, it'll now go forward instead of backwards. But it's fine. Hope you guys enjoyed this short video. We'll see you guys next time on Mowers and Blowers. I don't even know what the title of this thing. I don't even know what that thing's called. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Remember to like, share, and subscribe.
Subscribe. You're subscribed.
Subscribe.
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 Subscribe. Subscribe. Subscribe to it.
It's me. Hi. We need you to donate $1 or $2.
Hit the subscribe button. It's free.
We'll see you guys next time on Mowers and Blowers.